All right, so hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for being here today. My name is Oriol Colell and I am the Gemvision's product director. Today I have the pleasure to present the last session on the second Gemvision Virtual Summit. So it has been 5 days. It was just 1 month ago that we started to plan everything, and look, today is already the last day. So thanks for being here. This year, we are focusing, as you know, on jewelry customization. And during this 5 days event, we have been going to all the different solutions that the Stellar and Gemvision has to offer when talking about customization. So we start with Harold and Erica talking about how the trade is looking today and what may happen in the future. The second day, we were just giving an overview about all the solutions that the Stellar and Gemvision can offer. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we went deeper with the software that we are selling today in Gemvision, as is CounterSketch on Wednesday and MatrixGold yesterday. So we are glad from Gemvision that we have been the chance to show you the whole journey in the customization. And there is no better way to finish this long journey than with today's subject, that is the 3D printing, the future of jewelry. So after all the designs, after all the ideas about designs, that is the last step, that is printing the piece that we have been working on. So today is this is the subject that we are gonna talk about. In Stellar, we are lucky to have a lot of expertise in 3D printing. The reason why is because we have many printers in-house, which are used daily to support all the customers' orders. Therefore, there is a tight relationship between the 3D printing team and the tools team. So when the tool team is talking to customers about the printers, they know all the ins and outs of the 3D printing process. So we will have today Chris Lerner, is the Stellar Equipment Product Manager, and Jeremy Thibodeau, a Stellar Tools and Supplies Technical Support Manager, to tell us everything about printing. Hello, Chris and Jeremy, how are you?
Doing very well. Thank you, Oriol. How's everyone out there? Hope you're doing well. I'm glad to see we have a lot of participants today, so thank you for joining us. Like Oriol said, my name is Chris. I'm on the tools merchandising team, so it's my job to seek out the best technology for our customers. And of course, 3D printing is at the forefront of that technology. So very happy to be here and speak with you guys today.
Good. Also, it's good to mention that we have Chris in the studio. As you can see, this is something new that we have been testing in this second virtual summit. Jeremy, let me tell you, you are looking great there in the studio. So probably we are going to use this setup with you for many other webinars. It's easy for us to talk about printing from in-house, so we can tell what we know about the printers. But what I think that it's very good is to ask real users what are they experience with our printers. So today, again, is also a pleasure that we have with us Kevin Witt. Kevin Witt is a long-time jewelry cut designer who has a lot of experience in printing all his jobs. So there is no better way to know about the 3D printing than putting all these profiles together today in today's presentation. Kevin, how are you today?
I am terrific.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here with us today. I really appreciate it. So there is either Chris, Jeremy, myself, there is no better way to know about our product than talking to the customers who are using it. So thank you for being here. For sure that we will enjoy your ideas and your point of view about the printer.
All righty.
All right. So sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you can go ahead, sir.
So first we will start today with Chris, who has put a few slides together to talk more about printing. Then Jeremy will do a live walk through all the print process. Today we will be printing a piece while we are talking about the 3D printing, so we can show you how fast you can print a piece in your business. Then we will talk with Kevin, so he can tell us about a bit more deep about his experience with the B9 printer. Then very shortly, I will show you how to prepare and support the models for the B9 printer. So I will show it from the CounterSketch side and also from the MatrixGold side. And finally, Jeremy will show us the last steps before the piece is done. So I think that today we will cover all the steps in the printer wall. All right, so Chris, if you are ready, I will go through the slides.
Sounds good. So like Oriol was saying, we're going to cover from A to Z when it comes to 3D printing and how it applies to the jewelry business. So I wanted to start from the very beginning on some definitions. So what are we talking about? A lot of times you'll hear the word digital manufacturing as it applies to 3D printing and jewelry. So what is that? It's simply the use of an integrated computer-based system comprised of simulation, 3D visualization, analytics, and collaboration tools to create product and manufacturing process definitions simultaneously. So it's kind of a loaded definition, but that in essence is what we're talking about. And go to the next slide. So more importantly, what does that mean for the jewelry industry? What impact does that have? And it's made such a positive impact. Personally, as a merchandiser, I've seen requests come in from all over the place, and then talking to our customers, talking to our folks in the field, it's become such a hot subject as it pertains to customization. So in recent years, this technology has offered some great benefits, primarily through 3D printing, of course. And why is that? So it's innovative, it's cost effective, it's extremely fast, and it's very easy to use thanks to companies like B9 creating such easy to use equipment. So this offers several customization options for the jeweler to provide to their end consumer. But most importantly, 3D printing offers jewelers a chance to boost their bottom line and overcome the challenges that they face. And it's very important at Stellar, and I know at B9, is to prepare the customers and provide them with the resources and technology that they need to never have to say no to any request that comes in the door. So it's made a huge and positive impact on the jewelry industry. We can move to the next one. So once again, with the partnership with B9, Stellar has really covered your needs from end to end. So between the two companies, we offer the CAD/CAM solution with CounterSketch and MatrixGold software. B9 has Create 2.0, which is the software that you use with the printer. B9 has also created fantastic materials, or what we call resins. They have a variety of different resins depending on your need. Of course, they make the 3D printer. There are several models, and we'll go over a couple of those today. And then finally, they make the equipment, and we sell the equipment for the post-processing. So there's no gap in the process that we don't have a software or an equipment solution for you. So we're actually going to go through all of these today. But as you can see, Stellar with B9 has really got all of your bases covered.
Thank you so much, Chris. I think that has been an overview on what we will be presenting today. So now we will go through Jeremy, and from the studio, he will start with the walkthrough. Just let me.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jeremy. This is my B9 printer, Odin. And today we're going to give you a brief walkthrough on the 3D printing process involved. Now, for those of you who may not know, part of the software involved is taking that 3D model that you created, and the program treats it as if made out of clay. And it takes a digital knife and slices it into, let's say, about 1,000 different slices that the machine, the printer, uses to project those successive images using a special wavelength of UV light that the liquid resin responds to by hardening. So during the process, we're stacking those layers like we're stacking Legos in reverse order, where by the end of the print, we'll have the model hanging from the build platform, kind of like a bat hanging from a cave. So that's kind of like a real brief general rundown of what's going to happen. So whenever we have the model decided upon, we're going to put it on a USB stick like this one. Then we're going to bring it over to the printer, download that file into the printer, and then we'll start to print. So we'll just take it, insert into the machine, and then just with a few clicks of the menu, we'll select the print that we desire, and then we're going to confirm this is the model that we want. It's going to download into the machine, select OK, and then we're going to back out, select library. We're going to go to the print that we just downloaded into the machine, select continue, and it's going to give us the time that it's going to take to print, how many slices, the microns of the slice, which is the metric that is used to show us how thick those individual slices are going to be. And then we'll select continue. And then we're just going to confirm that this is the print that we're going to print. And then what will happen is that the build platform will start to lower into the resin tray, which today we have filled with our B9 gray resin, which we have right here. And then it'll start to stack those layers individually. And then that's it. And then after, we're going to talk to Kevin. We're going to come back and show you the post-processing steps and procedures that happen after the print is finished.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. That's easy. I mean, just it's like playing in any screen. All you need to do is just follow what the screen is asking. So even without, I would say without instructions, because we already have one in the office, you already know what you have to do because it's telling you what you need to do in every step. So it's very, very easy.
Well, we did a lot of talking and going back and forth with B9, and we decided upon the B9 product because of its ease of use. It seems as though that this printer particularly was built from the end user backwards. There's a lot of things incorporated that take a lot of the guesswork out, and there's zero calibration needed for the machine. As you can see, it only has one button. The menu options are very intuitive. The software involved is easy to use. So that was our main focus when vetting out this particular printer for this project, because it's such a big project, to make sure that this technology is accessible as possible for our customers.
Fantastic. And now your explanation, it's a good excuse to go to Kevin, and Kevin can tell us from his standpoint what he thinks about the B9 and how the B9 has helped in his business. So Kevin, again, thank you for being with us.
And B9 was a big step forward for us. We had a mill and have used it for probably 10 or 15 years, but the milled waxes are extremely brittle when you use milling wax. And the B9, it really puts the final link in your sale. When you have a piece catted out, you're looking at it at the screen, you look at the rendering and you fully understand it. But customers sometimes don't get it. They're blowing the image up and making the prongs look bigger than it really is. But when you can print that final product, whether it's a ring or a pendant, and have it the actual size with the stones in it, whether they try it on their finger or they, just hold it up to their chest, they get it. That's like the missing link that was there. And it is so easy to use. It has really increased our close. It's like, once we make the piece, if I can slip that grown ring on their finger, the close is going to happen. That's the final link.
And something that now I recall from Whitney's CounterSketch demonstration, something that she was talking about last Wednesday, is that if the customer leaves your store, it's going to be hard to bring the customer back to your store. So having the printer, and in just 21 minutes, or just say 30, the printing that now Jeremy was getting ready was saying just 21 minutes. But knowing that in 30 minutes, you can have this resin in your hands, so you can show it to the customer. I think that this is something that helps jewelers to keep the customers engaged with the design.
And I usually send them home with one of the waxes after they've approved it. I want them to show it to all their friends and look at it, because that's just marketing to us. And that gray wax, I have actually built some guitar picks that have been used every day for 4 months. And I've designed some parts for RV locks that I've had in place for a couple months too. And I used the gray resin on those, and those things are taking the abuse.
Yeah, and I really like your explanation, Kevin, because at the end of the day, what we are doing is bringing the technology to the customer. So probably 10 years ago, there was a big step between what we were designing and then letting the customers understand what we were doing, that this is what you were telling at the very beginning. Now that we have put all these steps together, we can show it just inside with the customers. And something that I feel is very important, they feel like they are also the designers. So with CounterSketch, with MatrixGold, they can sit at your side, you make the design, the modifications that they ask for, and then, as I said, in 30 minutes, they have the design. So
you guys have put the best system together for custom work between Gemvision and CounterSketch and tying it in with the B9. It's so much easier with the customers that the customer really feels like they know what they're getting when they leave. They're not scared. They're not afraid to spend 20,000 bucks, 30,000 bucks, wondering what it's really going to look like when they come back in a couple weeks. They know what it's going to look like once they've tried that printed version on, and it really makes the transaction, makes them assume it's their finished piece so much easier. And
also is a way to reduce the stock in your store. I mean, if you would have, if you would need to have all the different designs that can come out from, just say, CounterSketch, and all the modifications that you can get from CounterSketch, the stock that you would need in your store to show to the customer would be crazy. Today, instead, just getting CounterSketch and the B9, you can go as far as you want.
And if you look at that from a business standpoint, look at your return on your investment, what you're investing in Gemvision and what your potential is on a yearly return. I mean, if you had to go spend a couple $1 million for that inventory and pay the interest on it, you're a whole lot better off with CounterSketch and your return on your investment.
Probably if you would do that, you wouldn't have the time to be with us today. You would have to be in the store trying to sell as much as you get, right?
Custom is my profit center in the store. I love custom jewelry. That's my favorite part of the industry.
Yeah, and something that Harold was telling us on Monday is that this is what is coming. So now we are coming from this COVID era, and we were talking about what will be happening in the next years. And Harold was telling us that custom is going to be a big one in the jewelry trade. So I think that the solutions that we are showing today and the solutions that we have been showing in the last 4 days, it's giving to any stellar customer a way to get into the customization and offer it to their customers
without spending a ton of money like you'd spend for the inventory. Great return on your investment.
That's good. That's good. All right, Kevin. So what I am going to do now is I'm just going to show very, very fast from MatrixGold and CounterSketch how you can get the models ready for the printer. So Jeremy was showing how to bring it into the printer. Also, I think that is good to show how to get these files ready. And then we will go back to Jeremy to show us the end result. And Kevin, if you want to chime in any moment, please feel free. So you have a lot of experience on that. So now I will start with MatrixGold. I will share my screen. All right. So here I will start with MatrixGold, and we need to know that we have 2 ways to bring the models to the printer, depending if we are coming from MatrixGold or if we are coming from CounterSketch. In MatrixGold, because there is more options to make any kind of design, pretty much the same happens when it's time to put the support. So we have 2 options. Either we can go with the support tab that we have in manufacturing and just added by ourselves. So I can add the one at the bottom, and then I can also use the finger hole support and add also just a few more here. So let me add a few more. I can go like this, and like this on this side. And now I will go on the other side. 1, 2, and 3. So this would be a way to make it. Of course, that I can blend them. I can make
Oriole,
many. Yes.
Can't see your screen, Oriole.
All
It's
right.
not shared.
Now,
There we go.
fantastic. All right. So thank you, Jeremy. So what I have been building very, very fast is just putting these supports here. So in MatrixGold, you can do it super fast because it's first. I'm going to do it again if everyone has missed it. So I will go again. I will use the sprue that is just for going down here, and then the finger hole support that I select the ring. I bring it here, and then I just need to add the parts that I want to. And this, you know, once you have been printing a few pieces, you already know where you need to add your supports. So you have a good printing and also good casting. So this is just to show you how to add the supports from MatrixGold. All right. Of course, that from here, you can just select and move it and blend. So you can make any change that you want. And once you get it ready, you can just export it to an STL, and you can bring it to the software from the B9 printer. All right. So this is a way to make it. There is also another way that we can use the software from the B9 printer. So I will select my metal and my settings. I will export to an STL. We'll call it Friday. We are happy because we are Friday today. I will save it. And now what I will do, I will bring my B9Create 2.0. All right, here I already have the printer type. The one that we have at the office is the 405, the 5XL 405. This is the platform. Okay, and you also have here also telling you what you need to do. So let's gonna add the parts. I will browse. I have it in my desktop. I will open. I will import. Now it's just loading into the platform. And as you can see, I have it already here. But this one doesn't have supports because I didn't add them in MatrixGold. But what you can do is just select. So now I will go to the next step. Now I can select and move it. And if I have many, I can just put them where I want. So I can add as many as I want in the platform in case that I want. For instance, today, Jeremy was just adding one, but I saw in the screen that he had another file where there was a lot. So if you have a lot and if you don't want to go and put them by yourself, you can also click on auto arrange, and the software by itself will put them just in the platform, the best way that they can just arrange all these files. All right, so I will just move it a bit like this. I will bring it a bit higher. Now I already have it where I want. I will go to the next step. And the next step is placing the supports. Here you can go one by one, that is just clicking and adding a support. You can add the foundation, that is just the area that will be supporting all the supports. Or what you can also do is just click on the left, on the right button, and auto support part. So now it has done it by itself. So you have If you want to go fast, you have many, many options. Probably the first time that you use the printer is a good way to make it like this. And then you can keep learning what is the best way, where to put all the supports in your pieces. So we have the supports, we have the foundation. Now let's go for the next step. That is a start, a slicing, all the slicing that we will be doing when we print. That is what Jeremy was showing us. So I will start a slicing. I will save the file. Friday. And now, as you can see, it's growing all the slicing. So you can see how it will grow the resin in the printer. So this is the part that Jeremy was telling us that it will be upside down. And you can see how all the part has been sliced. All right, so we have it ready now. Now, I don't have the printer connected here today, but once you have the printer connected, you can send it directly to the printer if you want, all right, by Wi-Fi. You can just select the printer that you want. You will have a button that is telling you upload the file. You upload it and you get it into your printer. This is one way, or the other one is just save the file. And as Jeremy was showing you, just with a USB, bring it into the printer. So we have showed you two ways to make it from MatrixGold. And now very fast, I will do the last integration that we have done in CounterSketch that also Winnie yesterday was not on Wednesday. Winnie and Laney went to the integration that we have in CounterSketch, but it's good just to remember that you can go to the 3D printing, print to the B9 printer. We have this pop-up window coming up, and now is making everything by itself. So as Kevin was saying, there is not it's not easier way to make it that what CounterSketch is doing today. We have two different of supports density, standard or dense, depending if you want to place more or less supports. And once you get the model done, again, the last thing that you need to do is just generate the print file that we will get the same file that I got from from the B9 software, and bring it to the USB. And as Jeremy was doing, just bring the USB to the printer and import the file. So Kevin, do you think that I'm missing anything?
I think an important link is the reason that jewelry stores are still out there and thriving, even though there's online purchases, is customers, when they come into a jewelry store, they're looking at something, the link that they're used to getting before they commit to buying it is touching it, holding it, and putting it on their hand. And you just took care of that. I mean, they're looking at it on the screen, but when you print that and they slide that on their finger, you just put the last piece of the pie together. Your sale is closed.
And something that now that you are saying this, Kevin, you remember me that we print the accent stones. So we print accent stones and we keep the area where the center stone should be without the center stone. So sometimes if you already have the stone in your store, you can present the center stone in your in this piece. So the customer...
One of the changes I turned in was, can we cut the seats in CounterSketch so we can put in a carat, 2 carat, or 3 carat diamond or ruby or whatever in it? Because when the seats are in there, if I just snap it down in there, then the customer can try it on, and I don't have to be concerned about them dropping it on the floor, and they're a lot more comfortable too.
And you see, Kevin, this is what I love from this job. So I already got this request from you. We have it in our to-do list. Now we are just trying to figure out, what would be the best way to achieve that from the CounterSketch point of view. So we are thinking in a couple of ideas on how it would be the best way to present it to our customers. And we are thinking about that. Don't worry, Kevin. All right. So now, Jeremy, if you want, we can go back to the studio. I love that saying, go back to the studio. This is like national TV. And yeah, if you want, you can share the screen and see where we are with the printing.
All right. Now, what we have at the end of the printing process is our model hanging upside down, like I said, like a bat, inside of the printer on the build platform. What we're going to go through is the post-processing procedures using the B9 Clean and the B9 Cure, which I like to call the margarita machine and the Easy Bake Oven. So inside of here, I'll just lower the door, and then I can show you how easy this is. So it just has a screw top, which we'll just undo. Then we can grab the build platform by the base. And then there's our print, or as it was in the printer, just kind of hanging there like this. And then what we'll do is we'll go over to the Clean, and then you can see it has a lip right here that inserts into the build platform as it does on the printer. And then we just kind of tighten it down and then put the lid back. Inside of the Clean, we have 90% or better isopropyl alcohol. And this is a dual chamber cleaner. So what'll happen is when we turn it on, it will actually pump the isopropyl up to the model, and then it will agitate the isopropyl, washing the model for the set amount of time. What's important to note about this, and like I said, B9 did a good job of kind of working backwards with this whole system, is that one, going from the printer to the Clean, it's what they call like a no touch. So your hands aren't getting like super dirty or full of resin. And then whenever the Clean is done, the isopropyl will actually pump back down or drain into the inner chamber, and it leaves the model hanging there without being submerged in isopropyl alcohol. And that's important because previous models, if it was left in there for too long or you didn't come back in enough time, that alcohol will start to kind of compromise the integrity of the model. So this, we can kind of put washing, go do something else we got to do, come back, and it's safe. It's not a problem. Once the Clean cycle is finished, we'll then take it back out on the build platform, scrape it off. We take clippers and we'll clip those supports that Oriol was showing us. And then we're left with just the model bare. And then we put it inside of the oven, which you can see it's a mirror chamber, and it uses that special wavelength of UV light that the resin responds to. And then once we set the parameters for time and duty cycle and power, we could just leave it in there. And then what that does is just finishes the curing process to where there's no more wet resin or anything. And then we can hand it off to the customer for viewing. And that's it. That's how simple it is. We just print, clean, cure, hand it over in a very, very short amount of time. And that's it. Back
Very
to
nice.
you, Oriol.
No, and I was thinking now, let's see, we have been in the session for 35 minutes, and I was thinking, not quite short today, but the reason why it's that short is because it's easy. That's the only reason why the session is being easy today, because it's so easy to make all this printing process that you don't need to go any deeper than what we have done today. So, and with just the slides from Chris, the testimonial from Kevin, showing how actually with the software, I prepared 3 pieces in less than 10 minutes. And then with the process that you showed us, Jeremy, it's a good example to show everyone how easy it is today to have this printer in-house and show the final result to your customers. So, man, thank you so much.
What I'd like to say too, whenever we first got introduced with B9, one of their selling points was that, you know, in under 15 minutes, you could be up and printing. And so I requested a machine, and as soon as I got it, I put that to the test. And from a closed box on the floor, it took me 12 minutes, 42 seconds before I was starting to print their performance print, which is kind of like their test print that comes with the machine. So that's it. I mean, it really holds up to that ease of use, which is incredibly important for people, new users and experienced users alike. So this machine can kind of fill all the spectrum, the whole spectrum of users, which is a huge thing for us.
Jeremy, we have a live Q&A with Daniel, and he's asking, for the curing process, is it better to put the piece inside the curing unit, or is it better to put it in water or glycerin and then put it into the unit?
Okay, so that's a fantastic question. B9 does recommend, there's an inner chamber that comes with the cure, a clear cellophane or plastic cube, which they recommend filling with distilled water. There is a school of thought out there that eliminating oxygen during the curing process does allow for a more complete cure. And this kind of speaks to how this technology is ever evolving. We here at Stellar have experimented with oxygen, without pumping in argon, using the water, and it does help. It is found to be beneficial using the distilled water, and it kind of depends on the resin too. Our more waxy resins, it's kind of hard it's that close. I would say to always err on the side of it won't hurt to eliminate oxygen from the curing process. B9 does provide you with the additions to perform that function. So I'd say use it. Yeah.
Awesome. And Daniel's got a couple follow-ups. So the resin, right? Is there a specific temperature that we want to house the resin in?
Yeah, so the things to consider when storing resin is if the resin is going to be stored for an extended period of time, we want to put it back into the container supplied and keep it cool and dry, and obviously away from sunlight. I would say no temperatures above 100 degrees and no freezing temperatures, kind of like in that mid-range, which you would keep your shop at 68 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. How about this? Extreme temperatures, you have a greater chance to compromise the performance of the resin.
Gotcha. And then finally from Daniel, what's your recommendations for a good process to, once you finish the print, cleaning, saving the resin, what's good habits for cleaning and saving resins?
I would say things with the tray. So if you are going to be printing with multiple resins, I would suggest having a tray for each resin being used. The resin trays do come with a cover. So it is okay to keep resin inside of the resin tray using the supplied cover, and that can stay, I would say, for quite a while, actually. You can also, if you're doing prints daily, it is okay to leave the resin in the tray inside of the machine, because as you can see, and if you've paid attention to other 3D printers, they will always have like a red or an orange or colored glass. And what that does is it filters out the UV spectrum that the resin is responding to. So if you're doing daily prints, it's okay to keep it in there. I would say if you are expecting to not print for over a week, go ahead and pour the excess resin back into the supply container, and then using isopropyl alcohol and a microfiber towel, clean out the tray and then cover it and then store it in a clean, cool, dry place. The thing with 3D printers, they are not terribly complicated machines, but they are incredibly precise, and it uses light to perform its function. So we want to make sure that everything involved is clean and there is no obstruction to the light, no prints, no oil, no dirt. There is a glass window inside of the tray that projection comes up underneath. We want to make sure that's clean of everything. That's why it's important to use a microfiber and not paper towels, because that can leave lint. So all of these things, clean, cool, dry, will allow you to maximize the performance of both the printer and the materials.
Thanks, Jeremy. And just to let everyone out there know, if you purchase a printer or a printer bundle from Stellar, that printer is going to include a finishing kit, which is simple things like a spatula. It's going to have nice gloves. So all the things that you need for finishing, it'll be included, as well as your vats, right? So the Core 5 series with the 530 and 550, they use what they call a DuraVat. You're going to get 2 of those with each machine. With the XL, you're going to get what they call the FastVat 1 and FastVat 2. So B9, of course, they are a great partner. They've provided us to then provide to you all of the things that you need inside the box. So you'll be ready to go as soon as you get that product delivered.
you know, this is kind of coming all at once. If there's any questions that come up afterwards, or as you're doing a little bit of research, please feel free. My team is the Tools Tech team. If you call in and ask for the Tools Tech team direct, we will be able to answer any of those questions that you may have pertaining to the hardware involved and the process and some of the best practices.
Right. We have some questions about castable resin. So once again, like Kevin is saying here, if a customer is looking for a prototype to try on in the store, we definitely recommend the gray. If you are into casting, we suggest the yellow resin. That's the one that you're going to work with.
Those are the colors that we have, and those are the only colors we purchased.
Gotcha. If you purchase a machine from Stuller, all machines will come with a kilo of the emerald resin. It is also a very popular resin. You can certainly purchase all the resins through Stuller as well. However, if you buy the promotional bundle, which includes what you see today, except for the 550 version, and CounterSketch streaming, that is going to include the gray resin. But we carry it all at Stuller, so just ask for whatever resin you need and we'll make sure you get it.
All right. So Lainey and Sean has been helping us in the chat, adding all the information about the B9, the resins. So I think that we have been adding all the information. There is one.
Another thing I wanted to add, folks, is that B9 also has a brand new scanner out there. So if you want to take your offering to yet another level, they have what's called the B9 Scan 500. If you're looking for what people call shadow bands or matching bands, you can scan those and then subsequently print those. Also for heirloom pieces, things that have been in the family, sometimes people bring in an item in and they say, I want to replicate this. I want to make one for my child or something else. Then you can do that. Incredible precision. And once again, it is another step above your typical offering. But if you're interested, you can find some information on that on Stuller.com.
Okay, I love primary commerce. Okay, so it seems that we have been replying all the questions. The Q&A is also clean. So if there is no more questions, I think that the virtual summit has come to an end. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Jeremy, for joining with us the last day of this virtual summit. And from the Gemvision, just say that we are very, very proud to have the opportunity and sharing all this knowledge from Stuller to all our customers, also customers just joining this session. So it's nice when you see that you have all these colleagues and all these customers that can come together and make a fantastic virtual summit as this one that we have done this year. So after the success that we had, for sure that the third virtual summit will come next year. So Jeremy, Chris, is the second year that you are here. Now, after seeing how good Jeremy looks in the studio, I think that this is something that we will do next year again. But no, honestly, thank you so much. Thanks everyone who has been assisting to all these sessions that we have been running this week. And you can contact us at any time. And if we go next year for the third virtual summit, I hope we see you all there. So thank you so much and have a good weekend.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.